Let's go to the lifeline of the show, which are the telephone callers. And there is someone here. Good evening, Joel from Holland. You're most welcome to Straight Talk Africa.
Yeah, good evening, Shaka, and good evening to...
I'm hugely terrific. How are you?
On the show. Yeah, I'm very fine.
Yeah, what is your question, Joel?
I wouldn't like to term it as a question. But I would like to...
Make a comment?
To make a comment about what is going on.
You have 1 minute, please.
Thank you very much. I think I will use less than that. I wanted to say that we have a dilemma at hand. And I mean we, the activists who believe in the rule of law, activists of democracy, because we have a continent that has been stagnant since the 1960s. And we have been hoping and praying that generations to come would change it for the better. But the bad omens that have occurred, namely terrorism and recently disintegration of hitherto anticipated the groupings like the EU, when they disintegrate, then it spells doom. For example, I've been running campaigns to disentangle Museveni from power, and I have written a petition to numerous organizations, including the EU and the President of USA. But now that we have this Brexit, it appears the international community is going to spend a lot of time again looking at the Brexit issue, because it's huge, actually, we can see.
I thought you promised that you'd be speaking for less than a minute, Joel.
Yeah, but you can appreciate that the issue I'm pointing to, Shaka, is very, very pertinent to the topic of the program, of your program. I'm saying that we are seeing Brexit coming to overshadow what we are trying to cry about in Uganda, in East Africa, which you guys are eloquently talking about.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Joel. Thank you, Joel. Let's go to Francis from Britain, which used to be, of course, Great Britain, when, of course, it presided over an empire where the sun never set 24 hours, 24/7. Francis?
Hello?
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm there.
Yes, please.
Yeah, mine is it's also I would call it it's not really a question, but it's just an observation.
Wait a minute.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an observation, because really what happened in the UK. My name is Francis Muhozi Ndagawanye from Rwakarabakabale, Uganda.
Wow, you sound like you come from home, man.
Oh, yeah, I come from Rwakarabakabale, Uganda.
Did you vote?
So, yeah, I voted, and I voted to remain. But democracy was at work and we were beaten. So we have to go with what the people, the majority, have decided. So, on that note, I'm really bothered, because immediately the results were announced in the UK. President Museveni, who I call a dictator, just came out and said, how can you see how these people, how can he mocked the Prime Minister of Britain, Cameron. He said, how can you organize a referendum when you are in power, lose it, and after all resign? So to him, it was unheard of. Anyway, he's used to that. He has done it several times to people in Uganda. So that one is one. The second one is, President Kagame was of Rwanda. He's another dictator there. He was very, very happy he said, "Oh, Cameroon has been totally lesson."
How can you call President Paul Kagame a dictator when the last time I checked, he says his people have in fact given him a mandate for almost becoming a life president?
You need to know what is going on in that country. How can you organize a referendum in 1 week and get 92%, and you think that you are really organizing people? How can you take all people who come out to oppose you politically, you just throw them into jail? There is a woman now, Victoria Ingabire, who is just languishing in the prisons in Rwanda because of wanting to stand against Paul Kagame. Anyway, that's the topic for another day.
It looks like exactly that. We may have to discuss that another time with another topic.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, but what I'm saying now is about the Brexit. Kagame was very happy that Cameroon was being taught a lesson. It was in the newspapers, those papers in Rwanda. I'm quoting a newspaper. He said, "Oh, those people have been taught a lesson. How can you come to dictate democracy and rule of law in Rwanda when you don't have control of your people?" He was very happy, rejoicing. So to me, I'm really concerned. Why are these two people very happy that Cameroon has been kicked out of power, not realizing that Cameroon really is a real democrat? Once you've lost, you've gone into elections and lost, you accept the rule of the majority.
Thank you. Thank you very much. But we also do have, I think, some positive sides of democracy, because the last time I checked, for example, you had a President Rupia Banda of Zambia who lost an election to a Michael Sata and conceded defeat with grace. You did have a President of Senegal, Abdou Wade, who lost an election, conceded defeat. Yes, you did have, of course, Nigeria, Goodluck Jonathan, who conceded defeat. And now we have Major General Muhammadu Buhari in power. So we do have some good things working for us on the continent, even though things may not look that very rosy in the Great Lakes region of Africa. Let's go to Nigeria. Good evening, Patrick from Nigeria. You're most welcome to Straight Talk Africa.
Good evening, Mr. Saka. Good evening, our guest.
I am terrific. How are you today?
Okura for Patrick from Arojuku here in Nigeria is my name. Mr. Saka, you see, UK exit is a welcome development to me as an African, because African leaders should think inwardly, not every second per second we run to UK for an assistance. Especially funding of projects in Africa is too common. Imagine we run to UK. The exit of UK will now reduce Africans rushing to UK for white-collar jobs. My question to our guest, ma'am, I want to find out from our guest, do some UK populace, those UK populace now calling for appeal referendum, where were they when this issue came up on board about the referendum? Thank you very much. Have the president. Hello?
Yes, please.
My question to Madam is this. Why do some UK populace calling for an appeal referendum, where were they when this issue of coming for a referendum at the initial stage? Now, the referendum have been cancelled, the votes have been cancelled. Now they are now calling for an appeal.
I see.
Are they turning the appeal now to African situation? Any minor thing, we now go to appeal. At the end of the day, everything will just come back to square one. Thank you very much.
I guess it talks as a result of Brexit. There are perhaps some more than 3 million petitioners so far.
Yes.
And in fact, there is, I think, a clause within Parliament, the House of Parliament, that if you have more than, is it 100,000 signatories or something, you may, in fact, trigger a revote.
Yes, there's an effort right now by many who say they regret their vote or they didn't realize their vote was going to count, which is, as Prince said earlier, a very odd thing to say, that are calling for a new vote. I personally doubt the UK
is that likely to happen in a democracy where people have spoken?
I personally doubt the UK is going to go through an entirely new referendum, but it's certainly a large number who have said that they would like to revote. And I'm sure some who didn't make it out to vote that day are also saying that they would the next time. So it is a question on how the UK is going to handle those requests.